Hey everybody, welcome to Yin. I'm Lily. I'm going to be leading you through a 45-minute practice. This is going to hopefully help to get the backs of the legs, get into your hips. We are going to go ahead and get started lying down. I have Amy and Jin here to help me demonstrate. So Yin, if you haven't done this practice before, we hold postures for a while using our breath to try to relax as deeply into them as we can, to really break down any fascia buildup, get deep into our muscles and joints. So we're going to start lying down in Baddha Konasana. You're going to bring the bottoms of your feet together, the knees open to the side. Maybe you bring your arms overhead. Maybe you leave your arms on by your sides. Maybe to connect with your breath a little more, you bring one hand onto your stomach and one hand onto your heart, your chest. Close your eyes here and just settle into your mat. Really relaxing into this, allowing your body to ease in, trying to release the inner thighs, allowing them to open up, relaxing the lower spine, allowing the spine, the low back to massage into the floor. The arms are overhead. You're going to naturally allow the ribcage to open more, so trying to move with that, more space for the lungs. The arms are down by your sides. Maybe you have your shoulder blades pulled together and the fingers released towards the ceiling. Big deep breaths here. If you have one stomach or one hand on your stomach, one hand on your chest, you're just able to check in with your breath a little deeper, noticing the rise and the fall of the stomach and the chest as you inhale and you exhale. If that doesn't feel as relaxing to you, obviously you don't have to stay there. We'll be here for just a little bit longer. We're going to go ahead and start to massage the outside of our left hip and thigh. So we're going to do the left side first so you guys can see our setup. So our right knee is going to come all the way over and stack onto the left. Adjust your weight if you need to, if you want to scoop more towards the middle of the mat. Your knees are stacked on top of each other. Your right hand comes to push into the floor so you can lift your chest and rotate your stomach down. So a couple of options. We want to try to get our right ear down to look over our left shoulder. Maybe you release your arms long. If you need a little extra support, you can make a platform with your hands. Maybe you keep your chin on the ground. Take the right ear down. Try to relax into this. Allow your body weight to really be heavy so you can massage the outside of that left thigh and left hip. We're also in a spinal twist, so we're releasing and lengthening our spine some. The floor is supporting us, so really allow your body to be heavy. Using the floor to help to massage.
Fighting for my life, are you satisfied? Intoxicate my veins, make me misbehave. Be my great escape till we fade away. We're the wild ones, curious fools, trapped in the flume. We're the wild ones, raised by the wolves, we howl to the moon. Ooh.
Let's take 2 more breaths here before we transition. So to come out of this, we want to use that right palm, push it back into the floor so that you can lift the chest and unwind that left arm through. We're going to roll back onto our back and come into another hip and our thigh opener reclined frog. So the legs are going to lift into a tabletop, and then the knees and the feet are going out to the side. Hands can come under the seat for a little extra support. If that doesn't feel good, you can always leave your arms down by your sides, or you can bring them overhead. Just try not to support the legs. We want to allow them to support themselves. Big deep breaths here. This can be a little bit more of a mental posture, harder to stay in. Try to allow the rib cage to open, relaxing that lower stomach, abdomen. Relaxing the shoulders, the chest, all the muscles in the face. Maybe close the eyes. Focus on the breathing.
Talk like you till your fist cut me down. You celebrated like a clown. Where I up and move, stay. Funny where your mind can take you. A time, a place, a season, child. It's funny how my dreams became my here and now. I let go of what you said and embraced my brokenness. Life called me by my name.
We're going to only be here for a little bit longer. Try to stay with us.
Just say what you mean. Believe what you want.
It's normal if the toes tingle just a little bit. They're being suspended.
Empathize with weary eyes, I know them well. But you don't know me any better than you know yourself.
slowly start to bring the knees into the chest. You can hug the knees in. Maybe you shift your hips a little bit side to side, massage the spine back onto the floor in neutral. We're going to transition to that left side revolved spinal twist. So maybe you scoot your hips to the left a little bit. Both knees are going to come to the right. Stacking the knees and hips on top of each other, your left hand pushes onto the floor. So you can roll your stomach down. Try to get that left ear down on the ground. Arms go long to the sides. Maybe you make a little platform, rest your forehead. The left ear down. Really give your body weight into that right side. Relax the lower spine.
Someone told me that I want more, that I feel half empty, ripped and torn. They say there'll be plenty other hands to hold. Now I wish they'd told me long ago. Ooh, I don't want this to break you. Ooh, but I've got no one else to talk to. I don't know if you mean everything to me, and I wonder, can I give you what you need? Don't want to find I've lost it all, too scared to have no one to call. So can we just pretend?
We're just going to take a couple more breaths here.
You've gone quiet, you don't cool, and nothing's funny anymore. And I'll keep trying to help you heal. I'll stop you crying and dry your tears. Ooh, I don't want this to break you. Ooh, but I've got no one else to talk to. I don't know if you mean.
Let's start to use that left hand to push into the floor to roll right back onto the right shoulder. We're going to stay here. Take a second. You're going to use that left palm to push into the floor to come all the way up to a seated position. We're going to move into a regular Baddha Konasana. So the bottoms of the feet are coming back together. Knees are out to the side, lifting the chest. Maybe you even bring your hands behind you. Do a little counter back bend, push the chest up and back. And then lifting the chest, bringing your hands in front of you, starting to walk your hands out, relaxing down. So we're going to be here for a while, so you don't need to force yourself all the way down. Ease into this. Start on your palms. When you're ready, move onto your forearms. Maybe your chest comes a little closer to your feet. Let's try to relax our head. Allow it to be as heavy as you can, even if that means you bring your hands more or your elbows onto your feet to support the head some. Wherever this is for you, we're breathing into our inner thighs, trying to relax those muscles, relaxing the shoulders, everything in the face. So the longer you're here, think about using your breath. You think about inhaling, Filling the whole body up with oxygen. As you exhale, you try to move your body into those spaces. Just slowly easing deeper and deeper.
It's never enough. Cooling down till we're done for. You lie awake, and I can't sleep there. Cry, laugh, no, we couldn't keep that. Take it easy. Too high, if we take it too high, I'll be losing you. I could lose me too. Go and give it all you got. Go and give it all you got.
Just a little bit longer here.
Go and give it all you got. Go and give it all you
Slowly, we're going to start to walk our hands back in, lifting our chest, taking your time. When your chest lifts, we're going to transition to cow face. So you're going to bring your left knee in front of you. So you either keep that knee bent or you extend the leg long. Your right knee is coming over. So for half cow face, that left leg is going to stay extended. Maybe you pull your heels close in towards your sides. Maybe you bring them about perpendicular with your body, knees stacked, ankles out to the sides. Wherever you are, you can either start to walk your upper body forward. You can hold on to your feet. Maybe you even push into the feet to pull those knees closer together, bending out your elbows, folding forward. Really think about releasing the inner thighs so that your thighs can get a little closer together, massaging the outsides of our hips here. We're also breaking down some tension in our knees. So take a second, acknowledge any tension that you're holding on to in this posture that isn't serving you. See if you can let it go a little more. So for me, I'm holding on a little bit into my left thigh. Sometimes thinking about it, acknowledging it, and trying to exhale and breathe into it helps to get a little deeper.
call you lifeline. There's no way you were ever in your right mind. Call you lost at the tide line. It will cave from the waves when they pass by. It's a shot, it's a timeline. We'll be caught in forever for a long time. But your touch gets me so high and feeling sorry for myself at the same time. So unsafe is this temporary love I crave. Will we ever get enough to take from the memory it was a phase? Is this temporary love? Oh, is this temporary love?
Let's start to lift the chest. We're going to keep our legs where they are and get into our chest a little bit, coming into more of a full expression. So your left arm is going to go behind the back, bending at the elbow so the palm reaches towards your shoulder blades. And then inhale that right arm up and reach the right hand back to meet the left. So maybe your fingers don't touch and you're just reaching here. You can always release that left hand. Use that left palm to pull that right shoulder back. If your hands do clasp, maybe you pull the hands together to keep the chest lifted. Just looking forward, maybe closing the eyes. Couple of breaths, having the chest open, trying to keep the legs relaxed. We're going to take one more breath here. Exhale, release the arms, release the legs long. So both legs are pointed in the same direction. We're going to rotate our palms away from our body, pushing down into the floor. Push down through the palms so much the chest lifts. It feels like your seat is about to come off the floor, but it's not quite lifted. Arch up and back. Lifting the chest, chin comes forward, hands come back in front of us. We're going to walk forward into a forward fold. So same thing as that Baddha Konasana. Your feet are relaxed, arms are relaxed. Maybe your arms aren't even touching your legs, but beside them, so you're not tempted to pull. So a lot of times we're pulling here. In this class, we're trying to just settle in and using the weight from our upper body to naturally fold more forward and lengthen through the backs of our legs and our hamstrings and our hips. Relax the head.
Is a swelling storm, and I'm caught up in the middle.
If this doesn't feel super great for you to have your legs together, you can always bring a couple more inches between the feet. Maybe you walk your hands out in front of you, not quite into a full wide straddle forward fold, but just opening up the hips a little more. If you have some back pain, some shooting pain in the backs of the legs, this might be a little bit better for you.
And goes in waves, it always does, it always does. And we watch as our young hearts fade into the flood, into the flood. And the freedom of falling and the feeling I thought was set in stone, it slips through my fingers and I'm trying hard to let go, but it comes and goes in waves. Oh, it comes and goes in waves and carries us away through the wind and down to the place we used to lay when we were kids. The memories of a stolen place, caught in the silence, an echo lost in space. But it comes and goes in waves, it always does, it always does. And we watch as our young hearts fade into the flood.
Let's slowly start to walk our hands in, lifting the chest. We're going to move into that right side cow face. So that right leg is either going to stay extended or you're going to bend that right knee. Left knee is going to come on top. Your heels can either stay close in towards your seat or you can move them so that their heels are in line with the knees. You can keep the chest lifted. You can walk your hands forward or you can hold onto your feet. Think about pushing the feet away with your hands or your fingers, bending the elbows and folding forward.
In front of my eyes, moments of magic.
Relaxing any tension that you feel here, trying to use your exhales to release it, allowing your body to get a little bit deeper.
Take me back to the feeling where everything was left to find. 'Cause it comes and goes in waves. It always does. It always does. And the freedom of falling, and the feeling I thought was set in stone, it slips through my fingers, and I'm trying hard to let go, but it comes and goes in waves. 'Cause it comes and goes in waves and carries us away. You ask your allergies why they're such a bother. You feel the melody, sing it if you wanna. You keep scratching your eyes and they keep itching. Either way, I'm in love with your red roses. You tried to dream away everything that happened. Found your frame of reference deep in your siesta habit. Came and woke you up at 7, you weren't trying to have it. Either way, I'm in love with your red roses.
We're slowly going to start to lift the chest, keeping the lower body where it is, moving into that upper body, coming into full expression. I'm going to rotate so you guys can see this from the back this time. So your left arm is going to go up. Your right arm is going back. Hands are working to clasp in the middle. If your hands don't clasp, you can always leave your left arm where it is. Use your right palm to pull it back. If you're close, try to stay here and work on that until you eventually have the hands. Keeping the chest lifted, maybe closing the eyes. Just a few breaths here. Lengthening the spine, stretching the arms. It's okay to be alone with the truth for a while. Truth is, I'm in love with your red roses. Let's take one more breath where we are. Slowly start to release the arms, releasing the legs. We're going to move into a tabletop. Working through just a couple of cat-cows. Your toes can be tucked under or the tops of the feet can be on the floor. We're going to inhale into cow, look up, stomach down. Exhale, cat, around through the spine, chin into the chest. Inhale, cow, look up. Exhale, cat, round through. Let's do one more here. Inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. Let's find our neutral spine. We're going to move into puppy and get into our chest and into our lower spine. I want you to think about keeping your hips over your knees as much as you can. Your palms are going to come forward so your stomach can ease back to the thighs. Maybe you leave your chin on the floor. If not, you move your forehead to the mat.
I'll always be in love with you.
Breathing here, trying to relax that lower spine, easing the stomach closer back to your thighs. This is big in our chest and in our shoulders. If you need to, you can bring a little more pressure into the forearms, but try to settle in here as much as you can. If the chin is on the floor, you're also going to stretch through the front of the neck. We're decompressing our spine.
giving up a little bit of my control. I open up my heart, just a little part, though my mind says no. If you're so close to me, why do you remain a mystery? I've analyzed enough, feel like giving up when my doubts take hold. I can't dwell on it. Lately I've been going through hell on it. I keep lying to myself, I don't need nobody else, but I do, I need you. I can't sleep on it. Maybe I've been thinking too deep on it. I've been lying to myself, I don't need nobody else, but I do, I need you. I need you. I need you. I need you.
Yeah, it's not hard to tell. You've already peered beyond my veil. I let you look inside. It's too hard to hide, 'cause you know me well.
We're going to take just a couple more breaths here.
Confused. Maybe I asked too much of you. I tend to overthink.
Slowly start to ease your hips back towards your heels to come into a child's pose. Relaxing the head, pushing down through the palms, reaching the heels back towards your hips, towards your heels. You can bring your arms down by your sides to release your shoulders. Maybe you slide your hands around the ankles so that the hands are under you, forehead towards the floor.
Deep on it. I've been lying to myself, I don't need nobody else, but I do. I need you. I need you.
Oh,
I need you.
babe.
And if there's an answer, won't you let me know? I'm in the dark, this doesn't feel like home. I've tried my very best, oh why I must confess, at times our love is much too much to hold. I can't dwell on it, lately I've been going through hell on it. I keep lying to myself, I don't need nobody else, but I do, I need you. I can't sleep on it, maybe I've been thinking too deep on it.
Oh,
I've been lying to myself, I don't need nobody else, but I do, I need you.
oh, hey, yeah. I need you.
If your arms are back by your sides, let's go ahead and walk the palms back in front of us. We're going to push our palms into the floor so that our chest lifts, sitting on our heels, rolling the shoulders away from our ears, just taking a couple of seconds, realigning the spine. Maybe you take a big inhale and sweep your arms up. Interlace the palms and push the hands towards the ceiling away from your head.
It falls upon your skin. It's closer than my hands have been.
Releasing that hand grip, we're going to walk our hands out in front of us and lower onto our stomachs.
I'm jealous.
Once you're on your stomach, we're going to transition to Sphinx to loosen up our lower spine. So you're going to slide your forearms onto the mat, palms out in front of you, elbows under your shoulders. I don't mind if your toes are closer together or about as wide as your mat, whatever feels better for you. I want you to more think about your lower spine, relaxing the lower spine, relaxing the seat, pushing down through the palms, either looking up towards the ceiling or maybe relaxing the head down, chin into the chest. Either way, using those forearms to support you, not really letting the shoulders come up by the ears, but keeping the shoulders rolled back.
There's nothing to
If you would prefer to take seal, if that's part of your practice, you always have that option, taking a deeper back bend.
Found was heartbreak and misery. It's hard for me to say. I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. I'm jealous of the nights that I don't spend with you. I'm wondering who you lay next to. Oh, I'm jealous of the night.
We'll be here for a little bit longer. So maybe moving through this a little bit, finding another place that feels good.
That wasn't here. Gone for someone else to share. Oh, I'm jealous of the love.
Wherever you are, we're gonna all look up and back, taking a couple of breaths, opening up our chest. Keeping your body where it is, let's all exhale our chin down to our chest. Allow the head to be heavy for just a couple of breaths.
There's nothing to forgive, but I always thought you'd come.
Big inhale, look up and back one more time.
All you found was heartbreak and misery.
Exhale, lower the stomach all the way back down. We're gonna bring our palms stacked on top of each other, making a little platform for our forehead. Forehead rests on top of the hands. Walk your big toes all the way together so that they touch, and then allow your heels to open to the side. This is gonna help release our sacrum, that lower triangle of our spine, releasing it back into place. Just a couple of breaths here.
Cause all I do is cry behind a smile. I wished you the best of all this world could give. And I told you when you left me, there's nothing to forgive. But I always thought you'd come back. Tell me all you found was heartbreak and misery. It's hard for me to say. I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. It's hard for me to say. I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me.
Let's take one more breath where we are. We are going to move back onto our back. So however is more comfortable for you to transition, I'm just gonna roll over.
It's gonna take a bit of work.
Taking a couple of breaths, adjusting back onto your spine. So we've been on our stomach for a couple of minutes. So it can take just a little bit to allow that spine to now fold or bend the other direction. We're gonna move into a spinal twist before we come into a savasana altogether. So let's bring both feet up into our seat, walking them all the way in. We're gonna push down through our heels to lift our hips up and send them over to the right corner of your mat, right edge of the mat. Once your hips are there, both knees are gonna fold to the left. Maybe you bring your right leg over the left first. You don't have to. Both knees are gonna fold over to the left side. Our gaze is going over the right shoulder. So arms can either come to a field goal. You can release your arms long. You can bring your left hand onto that right thigh if you need to. Closing the eyes, maybe settling in here.
It's gonna take a little time,
Wringing the spine out like a washcloth.
but with you by my side, I won't
slowly start to shift the gaze back to the ceiling, pushing down through that left foot, bring the knees back up. If that right leg is on top, go ahead and unwind. Adjust so that you're back to about the center of your mat, heels walked in towards your seat. When you're ready, you're gonna push down through your heels, lift the hips, and scoot the hips over towards the left side. Both knees can stay bent, or you can cross that left leg over the right. Once you're there, go ahead and start to relax the knees down to the right side of you, gazing, looking over the left shoulder, adjusting your arms as you need. Trying to relax that left thigh that's on top, allowing it to be heavy, really pulling your body weight over to the side so you can lengthen through the spine. We're getting space here for our discs, stretching through the outside of our hips. This is the last thing we're going to do before we settle into a quick Shavasana all together. Let's take 2 more breaths on this side. Start to shift the gaze back to the ceiling. You're going to use your right foot to push into the floor, unwinding the legs, readjusting your hips, your shoulders, getting comfortable. Maybe we pull the knees into our chest, massage the spine a little bit. You don't have to, it's always an option. When you're ready, we're going to release our legs long. Arms down by the sides, closing the eyes, shoulders away from the ears, finding some stillness just a little bit longer here all together, enjoying this, allowing your heart rate to settle even deeper, releasing any tension from the fingers to the toes, all the way to the top of the head, the face, the jaw. Clear the mind, just be. Let's start to deepen our inhales and our exhales, allowing the chest and stomach to rise and fall a little bigger, more movement, waking up the fingers, the toes. If you're at home and you want to stay in Savasana longer, feel free to do so. You can ignore me, do this in another couple minutes. We're going to start to bring our arms overhead, get into the sides of the body. Getting everything a little bit more awake, waking everything back up, starting to get closer towards our heart. Start to pull the knees back in. You can pull the knees into the chest. Massaging the spine towards the floor a little bit. When you're ready, we're going to roll over to a side, whichever side you'd prefer. That arm that's towards the ceiling is going to gently come in towards your chest. Should feel like you're giving yourself a hug. Then using that top arm, press the palm into the floor so you can push yourself up. Come back to the middle of your mat. We're going to finish class in a comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit in half lotus. You can sit in hero, cross leg, whatever's better for you. Bring the tops of the hands onto our knees, palms open towards the ceiling. Big inhale, sweep your arms all the way up until the palms touch. Exhale your hands to heart center. Bow the head just slightly. Acknowledge the work you put into class, giving yourself 45 minutes to open up, to release, to lower that heart rate. Hopefully you're leaving a little more relaxed than when you started. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Come back and practice with us again soon. Namaste.